What's going on, YouTube fam? It's your boy Tony 2Times, and we back with another episode of Hood Tales, man. Before I start, be sure to like, comment, definitely watch the video to the end. Got a crazy one for y'all. Let's get right into it. What happens when two worlds collide? Some people grow up in middle-class households, both parents working to provide. Some grow up in poverty, just trying to survive and make it through life. But then a percentage of people grow up wealthy. Families are business owners or have generational wealth. But what happens when a young man from Palos Verdes, California makes his way to the rough streets of South Central? On this episode of Hood Tales, we will be discussing Cameron Terrell and how a wealthy family team ended up gang banging in LA. Cameron came from a good family. His father, the president of a media consulting firm, and his mother, an interior designer. Both parents had big clients and worked hard to afford their $2 million home in Palos Verdes, California. The Palos Verdes area is a whole different world from LA, a coastal city located in Los Angeles County, surrounded by luxury homes, beaches, golf courses, and upscale people. Cameron and his family would go on vacations. He wore the best designer clothes, even had access to his father's black Mercedes-Benz. Cameron attended Palos Verdes High School, which is a top school in Southern Cali. But everything that glitters isn't gold. Cameron would often get into arguments with his parents and start a rebellion. This would take Cameron away from his safe haven and into a whole different world. Sources allege Cameron would make associates with the Rollin 90s Crips, a strong Crip set based out of South Central. Cameron connected to members, some say through drugs or social media, but the young man will often run away from home and end up at a young man's home in South Central, sometimes staying for months at a time. As time went on, the two teens became close. Cameron looked at the boy's mother as family, but in the area was a strong presence of the Rollin 90s Crips, and when Cameron's homie decided he wanted to be put on the set, he told Cameron he should do the same thing as well. Cameron, already in love with the gang culture, jumped at the chance. Then the two young men would be jumped in at Jesse Owens Park, a park where the gang usually politic. Once in, Cameron jumped head first into the gang life, getting nicknames like Milk or Bright Eyes, even getting a tattoo of a W on his chest for Western, a street where the 90s had a big presence. This is where things went crazy. Cameron tried to rise in the ranks, and he would do things with the gang, including robbery and carjacking, where the victim told police it was a white guy who put the blicky to him in the crime, in which Cameron received probation. But now it was time for the big move. The A-Trade Gangsta Crips is another big set in the area, in which the 90s had beef with. Allegedly one day, Cameron drove his father's car to pick up two fellow members, who were teens at the time. The three decided to go looking for the ops and ended up on the 7800 block of Southwestern Avenue in the Manchester Square neighborhood in South LA. Allegedly, Cameron parked the car and the two teens, armed at the time, got out on foot. 21-year-old Justin Holmes was hanging out with two friends on his day off his job with UPS. The college student wasn't gang related, but allegedly when the two teens ran up on the friends, they let off shots, striking Justin Holmes, then fleeing to the car in which Cameron was waiting and sped off. Justin's two friends ran to get help, but the young man would eventually pass away. Allegedly after the shooting, the community was outraged, and Justin was a young man doing the right things. A candlelight vigil was held, but according to court documents, Cameron and the gang will record themselves kicking over the candles. Police in the area were watching the Rollin 90s in their social media. They would get a break when surveillance in the area showed two teens run into a black Benz. The three were arrested. Cameron, who ended up with a high-priced lawyer and ended up bailing out on a $5 million bail. As the case went on, Cameron's lawyer argued that he was just fascinated with the gang and was studying their ways. He had no knowledge of crime and was not affiliated. Also claiming the day of the shooting, Cameron didn't know guns were in the car and thought they were going just to graffiti some area. Police were outraged. and the community that this young man from a wealthy family was out of jail, while the 2 other teens still set. Plus now out, Cameron was playing the good boy, telling the news he doesn't owe any explanation, saying rest in peace Justin, and the family, using their wealth to flip the script. Eventually Cameron would be acquitted of the charges and the hit of Justin, leaving the 2 other teens still fighting the case. This caused national outrage, as evidence showed Cameron with the gang and videos, social media, even the surveillance of the car. This case goes to show money talks. Cameron wanted to be down until things got real. Then he was able to return back to his real life of wealth and luxury, leaving his so-called homies in a real situation. Is this privilege or justice? Rest in peace to Justin Holmes. Moral of this story, everyone glorifies the gangster life, but it is a real life. It's not GTA. Cameron was all in until it got real. Know yourself, stay true to you. Don't be the next Cameron. So remember, we gotta succeed, not to fail, so we won't be just another hood tale. Man, I'm pretty sure some of y'all heard this story, you feel me? I just wanted to do a video on it, but it's a crazy situation. Okay, so this teenage boy from a wealthy family ended up getting plugged in with one of the biggest Crip sets in LA. You feel me? It was crazy because I'm like, dang, how he even get down there to really rock with them like that? You hear people walking into gangs as outsiders and stuff like that, but it's usually somebody similar to them. Some people say the money that his peoples had, maybe they was giving him, made the game accept him. But at the end of the day, they obviously looked at him like a brother. He was in videos, they took pictures with him, stuff like that. But when the smoke clears, when it all went down, when the young man Justin got hit, he returned back to normal, you feel me? Like nothing ever happened. He went back to his nice home, to his peoples that had money. He was able to get the best lawyers, and he got acquitted, man. They go to show you money talk, man. So it's crazy. It's a prime example of somebody being fascinated with a culture that they really ain't about, or they really don't know nothing about. You out here playing, doing things, thinking nothing gonna happen, but when the consequences come, you can't handle them. But yeah, man, it's another episode of Hood Tales. Y'all already know. Be sure to like, comment, share. This your boy Tony 2 Times. I love y'all, fam. I'm out.